All right, I'm Zach Watson.
I'm Alexa Butel.
And I'm Cory.
And so our first idea is in the skyscraper window washing industry. This is an industry where we still have people out on scaffoldings or kind of rappelling from ropes on the side of buildings. So we kind of thought that we could develop a safer way to do this as well as increase efficiency with it. So we kind of took ideas from both patents a little bit. Basically what we're going to have is a robot arm on a track of the airborne mounting system. So with the arm, the head will be a squeegee sponge to do the window washing itself with connecting water and soap mixtures attached to it. The arm will be connected to a computer where you can input the dimensions of the face of the building to tell the robot arm what to do. So it'll be completely automated itself. And like I said, it'll be on the track of the airborne mounting system, so it can move laterally, lock into place if there's strong winds on the side of the building to kind of keep it near the face of the building. And this whole unit will be raised and lowered from the top of the building with a wired system. Okay. So, like I said, we're increasing safety by not having workers manually doing the labor on the outside of the buildings, as well as efficiency. I read that it takes a 6-man team about 4.5 months to clean the outside of the Empire State Building. So I feel like if we had several of these units going at one time, we could knock that out in a lot quicker time. This product's unique. There's not very many, like I said, I mean, this is a manual job. No one's really tested a whole lot of technology like this. Not many of them are in place, so it's definitely unique. And the target market for this product would be the building owners themselves, if they want to keep that on top of the building and use as needed, or window washing companies themselves. And I'll pass it off to Alexa for the next one.
Okay. So the second idea we came up with the counterbalanced arms robot is harvesting crops. So the problem with harvesting crops is that it's a very time-consuming process, and that the inclement weather conditions usually can hold off on harvesting crops. And so we thought with the counterbalanced arm systems, it could act as a reaping tool for that. So that way it takes out the manual labor, and it also just doesn't require as much human operation, because you could program into the computer kind of where you wanted to go up and down the harvesting crops, how many you want, and everything like that. And so using this to kind of help take the burden off of the people who do have to do that manual labor would be kind of one of the goals of the product. And so also this also just kind of explains how you would use it. It would save time with the labor. It just takes up little space, because with the heavy operating machinery that it sometimes takes, it can take up a lot of space, and so this way it would just take up very little space. And then also with this is just, again, I said you can program the instructions into the computer. And one more thing I was going to say. Oh, the target market for this product would be mainly we would target the smaller owners of farms, because I mean they mostly have to go with the manual labor and everything. Whereas even though the bigger farms do have the heavier machineries, they might be able to get used to this, but mostly it would be the smaller farm owners. And then another potential secondary market would be higher education institutions. So if you're doing research in farms and just want to go through and gather crops, they could also use that for that. And now I will pass it off to Cory.
Alright, I'm going to start here just to show this display right here. We're talking about mounting this on a rotating device so it could have all range of motion. But we got a counterbalance system for kayaks, and pretty much what we're thinking is the only design they have so far for counterbalance is something simple like this. But we're thinking of mounting it on the front or the back of the system. And so that rotating device would rotate down into the water and either have like a flotation device that would be hydrophobic and kind of balance out the kayak for those who don't have great balance. And then you could have attachments on it, like they have like trolling motor attachments for people who want to like fish off of it and move a little bit along the coastline. And then if you had a camera, you'd have like a on your phone where you can control the camera, a remote device. And then a current tracker if you want to track the currents as you're fishing or just stabilizing your system, and a flashlight if you're at night. The problem is the technology is currently outdated and expensive, because just these simple things cost about $150 just for one of them. So we're thinking if we could get the price down and compete with that technology, we would definitely knock it out. And then lack of competition, and then people who lack balance. The uniqueness is there's nothing else like it, and if say your kayak flipped over, this device could lift down in the water and actually flip the kayak over for you, is what we're kind of going with. But the industry and the target market would be like businesses who run these big kayaking things like this. I've done it down in Florida and Cabo, so there's definitely the industry for it. And then people who just love the great outdoors, just go out and do it themselves. And that's it.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, guys.